Is Bangkok really a great place for entrepreneurs, or is it just hype? After spending a few months here, I'm going to be breaking down what it's really like to build a business while living in Bangkok as a young entrepreneur. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dylan Sadler. I'm 21 years old and I'm on a mission to continue growing my business as I travel the world. Now, I've been living in Bangkok for about 2 months now, and I'm going to spend the time today to really break down what it's like growing a business and living as a young entrepreneur here in Bangkok, because there are some fantastic things about this city, but I think there are also some challenges that a lot of people don't speak about. Now, to break this down, I'm going to be touching on 4 elements. So there's going to be 1, cost of living, 2, networking, 3, infrastructure, and 4 is going to be the work-life balance and the lifestyle that you can lead out here in Bangkok. To get started, I want to start with number 1, the cost of living. Now, as everybody knows, Thailand in general and Bangkok is a very affordable place to live, very reasonable, particularly for what you're going to get out here. Now, I'm going to focus on this as this entire video as a young entrepreneur's perspective. So we're talking about things that you might find yourself needing or buying, and things that you might be spending money on. So for me, and as I've discussed in my last video, I don't spend a lot of money out here. I pay my rent, which is quite reasonable. I pay around 140 USD per week for rent. Now on top of that, I have a gym membership, which is also very reasonable, and I pay for food. Now, depending on how you eat, you can spend anywhere from probably $50 to $300 per week cooking your own meals or having them cooked for you with reasonable food. Now, I eat a lot of beef and salmon, which is more expensive out here. If you want to eat things like chicken and pork, you can live a lot more reasonably. But your general cost of living out here, if you don't want to be scrimping for anything and struggling, I would suggest accounting for around the 300 USD mark. Now that's going to cover rent in a decent building, and that's going to cover food. Now, compared to somewhere like Australia, where I'm from, or the US, very reasonable out here. I think if you're in a position where you can run your business from online and keep your expenses minimal in your home country while spending the money out here to continue doing the things that you need to do and getting what you need, then you're going to find the cost of living to be very acceptable. But is the cost of living going to be enough to make this the perfect city to grow your business, right? And that's what brings us on to point number 2, which I consider to be very important, and that's networking. Now, in my experience and staying out here, now I will note that the building that I'm staying in here in Bangkok, it's very popular for foreigners and entrepreneurs alike. It is also, well, as I've seen, it seems to be a very great networking hub. I mean, we have multiple co-working spaces. We also have a cafe and a restaurant in the condo, in the building. So you'll find a lot of people are there networking, meeting each other, working together. Now, I've found within probably 3 weeks of being here, I can't go downstairs to the 7-Eleven without stopping twice, to say hello to people. So you'll find that people in Bangkok in general, and I've stayed in other areas in Bangkok, and I can say that this is all throughout, people are very friendly. So you'll find that people are certainly very inviting, and that everybody is very easy to speak to. Now, the other thing that I've found, particularly in this building, is that there are a lot of other business owners that might specialize in different industries, naturally. So for me, I am an agency owner. Now, I have met multiple other agency owners out here, but I've also noted that I've met people in other industries, and their insights have been able to help me grow and develop my skill sets as well. For example, I have a really good friend out here who's right into crypto, and he develops a crypto bot and has a lot of insights around crypto. Now, I dump some money in crypto, but I don't really research the market and spend a lot of time getting to know it. So those insights have been immensely helpful for me. So I think that's worth noting, is that you really can come out here and meet people with all different backgrounds and all different experiences, which may be able to help you, in hindsight, within your own business. Now, number 3, and the third point that I want to speak about, is going to be the infrastructure and resources here in Bangkok. Now, I think a lot of people don't speak about this, and a lot of people actually aren't educated in how developed Bangkok is as a city. For me, it is a big thing, and it's often something that's overlooked, is the efficiency and how quickly I can get things done. Now, there's 2 parts that I want to note on this. And number 1 is the convenience of Bangkok. Everything that you need really is at your fingertips out here. No matter what it is, you can find what you're after, and you can find it quickly. There are so many shopping centers, and as I said, we've got restaurants, cafes, and a 7-Eleven in our condo. For those of you that don't know, the 7-Elevens here in Thailand are like supermarkets. They've got everything. So anything that you really need quickly, you can get. Which is fantastic, and that really does help with efficiency. Again, like I said, this thing is usually sort of overlooked, but I think it plays a big role in how you structure your day as a business owner. Now, the second part that I want to note is not so great, and that is the productivity, I suppose you could say. Now, one thing I'll note is that the living pace, while it's quite chaotic out here because there's so many people, I've found for me personally, if I go to a restaurant and order a meal, it might take a little bit longer than I would like. Or the same thing if I go out, for a night and I grab a drink with a friend and I order some drinks. They might take longer than I would like. Now that sort of pace of work and pace of living out here is a little bit slower than, for example, Australia, where I'm from, and what I've seen in the US. Now the US is obviously, service is based off tips, so people are really performing to the best of their ability to be paid based accordingly. Out here, not so much, and you will find this in a lot of countries around the world. Everybody moves a little bit slower. If you're okay with that, then fantastic. For me, it can be a little bit annoying because I like to move fast a lot of the time and I like to get things done quickly. But that's one thing that you just kind of adjust to, right? And if you take the time to regular in a certain place, you might be able to, without obviously coming across as an asshole, you tip well and you really build a good relationship with the team there at, say, your favorite restaurant, and you'll notice that they might take care of you that little bit more and come out a little bit faster and that sort of thing. So it is possible, but it's also worth noting that things can be a little bit slower out here. Now, the fourth and final thing that I want to make a note of is the lifestyle and work balance out here. How do you really live? Now, for me, and I might not be the best person to speak on this because my lifestyle is very work driven. I spend a lot of time working and training, but I will note that it has been fantastic to know if I do want to get away at any time, at any reason. For one, everything is open very late in Bangkok. Out in Thailand, people have a habit of staying up very late. A lot of people wake up later in the morning and stay up a lot later at night. So it could be 9 p.m. on a Friday night and I might finish up with my work and finish up with gym or whatever it is. And I decide that I want to go for a quick meal or grab a quick drink or whatever it might be. I can open up my phone, get a grab for $3. Within no time, I'm in the middle of the city. And everything is open, everything is still pumping. Now, for that side of the lifestyle, it's fantastic. And also because there's so many other entrepreneurs here and people who are working on themselves and in their self-improvement journey, you'll find it's very plentiful with good gyms within walking distance, pretty much anywhere, and a lot of other amenities and that sort of thing. So in terms of the lifestyle, I think it's fantastic out here. There's so much variety in terms of what's been set up and the different amenities that you have. Most condo buildings have a great gym, a great pool, everything that you could want, garden, big area like this. And like I said, restaurants and shops. So it does really help with the lifestyle to have everything so easily accessible. And some of it is really well developed and put together, as I've said. So to really answer the question, is Bangkok a great place for entrepreneurs? For me personally, my answer is absolutely. So far in all of my travels, Bangkok is my favorite city, so I may be a little bit biased, but I think it's absolutely a great place for entrepreneurs. Now, with that being said, it's not for everyone. And here's a few things that are worth noting that may not make Bangkok the greatest fit for you. Now, for one, it's very chaotic and what some people consider overdeveloped, right? It's a big, busy, bustling city. I love that. I love the city. I love the buildings. I love all the people running around and how crazy it is out here. Some people, and many people, prefer to sit on a beach and have a lot of a calmer style. Now, you will find that somewhere probably like Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, maybe in Phuket in certain parts. So there are islands within an hour flight nearby where you'll find that style of life. For me, I love the city, as I said, I love the chaos, so I'm very happy here. But if that's you, then it might be worth considering some of those other places. Now, the other thing that's worth considering is that the language barrier can be a lot here. English isn't as wide spoken as I expected it to be when I came out here. I know we're in Thailand and it's a Thai speaking country, but I did figure that Bangkok being the capital would be very English speaking. It's still not. Most people that you meet, locals, won't speak English. At least in my experience. If you can become comfortable and consistent with using, Google Translate and speaking a lot slower for the people that do speak English so they can actually take the time to understand what you're saying, and they'll generally vice versa, so you can really kind of just try to get your point across to each other, then it'll be fine. I mean, it's still completely functional. It is just worth noting that English isn't going to be wide spoken out here. I think that pretty much covers it. Like I said, I might be a little bit biased. I love it out here, but I would say that Bangkok is absolutely a fantastic place for young entrepreneurs. Your living expenses, you can expect to spend around to less than 400 USD per week. The networking is fantastic. There are so many other young entrepreneurs and business owners out here to chat with, and to share knowledge and really collaborate with. The infrastructure is fantastic. Everything is here. I mean, behind me right now, I can see the MRT pulling up. There's four or five different train lines here, which come every couple of minutes. So easy to get around. And the lifestyle is fantastic. So I hope that answers any questions you guys have. If you have anything else that you want to know about Bangkok in particular, leave a comment. I'm here for another 3 weeks and then we're off to Bali. So any comments, any questions, let me know. And I will catch you guys in the next one.